Man, I don't know if I should be cracking a beer or strapping it up every single time I hear that, man. Makes me want to jump in there. So, special shout out again to our buddies in Agony of Feet for the intro song, man. It's just killer. It makes me want to play ball. But, Brandon, how are you, sir?
Not bad, man. It's getting closer. We got college football on Saturday.
We are 1 week away, man. Almost 1 week to the
I
day
cannot
away.
wait. I'm so excited, dude. You have no idea, man.
We need the football Santa Claus to come a little earlier for us and bring us some good tidings.
Well, just fall asleep early and you wouldn't have that problem.
Yeah, time travel, baby. Time travel.
Right?
Hell yeah, man. Well, I am Brad, as always, your host, along with my co-host here, Mr. Brandon France. Sir.
Howdy. Yes.
Pleasure, as always, to be alongside
always,
you.
buddy.
Episode number 3 of the Hawkaholics podcast, guys. We're so pumped. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in the last couple weeks. It's been phenomenal giving this an attempt. Just two dudes that love the Hawkeyes and love to bullshit about Iowa football. And here we are all of a sudden making waves, man. It's pretty awesome.
Making waves.
What do you got, man? Let's start this thing off. Let's start this thing off with a bang. We'll do some camp news, and then we got a special guest tonight.
Well,
what you got?
I hate to break your heart, but there really isn't much. All I know is there's going to be a ton of news next week. If anybody didn't catch that show last Friday, the Big Ten training camp, they had Iowa. There really wasn't much other than what I did get out of it was Tim Lester did say that there's going to be a lot of running, which you and I all know that same shit, different year, but I'm still willing to give this offense a chance because it's an actual guy that coaches offense, like straight out offense. He actually knows what he's doing. So I'm just going to give him a chance.
He's a Shanahan style guy, man.
He is. That's both of our teams' offense too, because you're a frickin' his boy. He technically is a Shanahan, and I'm a LaFleur guy. So we know how this works. So that's why I'm excited, and I know that's why you're excited too. So
heck yeah, I'm not surprised with the running, man. There's no doubt about that. What about the quarterback front? I know after that scrimmage, we had everybody up in a tizzy about McNamara. What do you got?
Well, what wouldn't you know it? Guess what do you think I'm going to say?
McNamara played well.
Yes, he practiced well. He actually threw a bomb to my boy Caden Wetjen too on Saturday.
Awesome.
I was on Hawkeye Insider and I was reading through the VIP articles and I ended up catching the article. I believe, don't quote me on this, I think his name's Brad, but he always does these practices. Like he always has practice reports, little tidbits, whatnot. I hate to break your heart, buddy, but it looks like Cade's going to be our starter. He is 60-40 as far as confidence-wise that he's going to be the starter. There's still a shot for Sullivan, but the fact is I think Ferentz has his guy, and I think he's going to stick with him. That may be the only thing that Ferentz will make sure that Lester's holding his hand for is having Cade as his quarterback.
Real question. I mean, the only reason that we got Sullivan was insurance policy. McNamara's had last 2 years cut short because of injuries, so you got to have an insurance policy if you're bringing him back. So it was a smart move, and
I agree.
He'll be ready when the time comes. So I mean, I get it.
I think so. I think so because like they were talking that possibly he's going to be next year's starter as long as some psychopath doesn't come through and lights up the frickin' cornfields and we go to war for this dude, but.
Well, there's a kid from Jacksonville there. I'm going to tell you right now, he qualified for the 100-meter dash here in the state of Florida as a quarterback.
Is Iowa looking at him?
He's a freshman this year. He committed.
Oh, he did. Okay. See, you know more about recruiting than I do. I need
James
to catch up.
Reisner from Bishop Kenny here in Jacksonville.
Bishop Kenny. Okay.
The kid is fast. He's 6'4", and he can run, dude. 4. So either we're going to change some things up or we're just going to waste his talent and he'll transfer out. One of the two. I guess we'll figure it out.
Of course.
Now, here's a real question for you. When are we going to name the starting quarterback? Do you think we wait till
Well, I cannot remember for the life of me of when they released depth charts. I'm going to take a wild guess and say they already know who's starting, but they're just going to wait until like they have to per NCAA rules.
That's a Kurt Ferentz thing, in my opinion. He's done that before.
And
He'll wait
like,
to the last minute, and then he'll announce it if he has to.
or get this, they'll wait till after our show next week, and we'll absolutely have nothing to talk about but Illinois State. So
I hope not, man. We want to at least be able to talk about quarterback and some players, which we will.
we need to go over the depth, definitely.
All right. Well, we had a last-minute change of plans. So if you remember, first week we brought Mr. Mike Germanese on from the College Football Dogs. He is back as he is actually dropping his Iowa football season preview on the College Football Dogs tonight or live on the show. So I'm going to bring Mike in. We're going to let Mike talk about where he's got the Hawkeyes, and then we'll let him run down his whole season prediction with you guys. So what's up again, Mike? How are you, bud? What was that? Sorry, you were muted.
How are we doing tonight? Can you hear me now?
Oh,
yeah, buddy. Good to see you, man.
Nice. How? By the way, great interview last week with the guy from the Wave. That was outstanding.
Thank you,
Levi.
I enjoyed that. I enjoyed the interview a lot.
So what you got for us, Mike? Dropping an article tonight? Is that true?
Actually, it just came out on the College Football Dogs website, predicting
breaking news,
predicting the Iowa Hawkeyes 2024 season.
Oh man!
And how they go 2-10. No.
He's pushing his luck. Don't let him.
We're just gonna remove Mike there. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding, buddy.
Hey, we might have to by the end of this.
So I think, but once I started deep diving after talking to you guys, I realized that the Iowa probably only really has 2 hard games, really hard games, meaning I don't think they're gonna win. I ended up having them go 10-2.
Oh, I like
for the season. The problem is I also have them missing the playoff at 10-2.
Oh, I can see that. Yeah.
Depending on that second loss, yeah. I know who one is. I guarantee it. I know the one.
One I don't even think we need to talk about. Let's be honest here.
I mean, we can when we get to it. I mean,
it's up to you, man.
You want to talk about the article first, and then we'll just go into your breakdown of game by game, my friend. So take it away.
Yeah, it's just an overview of what I think Iowa's going to do this year, and then it breaks down each game. There's a couple I have. I try to take an educated guess on who's going to have a big game on offense for the Hawkeyes. And it's going to be a lot like last year, I think. I think you're going to see a lot of ugly wins. I don't think you're going to see the record-setting lows in the over/under where you're seeing 28 points and 26 points. But I think it's going to look a lot like that because the defense is loaded.
Yeah. Oh, I'm telling you, man. I think it's the best defense Iowa's had.
Like after talking to you guys, the more I looked at it and how senior they are, they're going to be really, really good.
I mean, those 2 linebackers are 5th-year seniors alone, and between Nick Jackson and Jay Higgins, that's just good lordy. It's the best linebacker core in football.
It seems like it's senior, grad transfer, senior, grad, senior, grad, junior.
And we don't
I think there's only 2 juniors I've seen projected in the starting lineup, or 3. Like, that's insane. Yeah, for a defense that was top 5 last year?
Yeah, I believe
4,
so.
Right?
I mean, I think we're 4. Top 10 always in the last 8 years.
Well, you're one of the best defensive coordinators in the country, let's be honest here, right?
No, he's the man.
Is the best.
The problem is, if you guys had a functional offense, how many more games would you guys win?
Last year?
Minnesota, definitely.
Definitely.
Like, you guys always seem to have that one bad loss where you're looking at it like, really?
Who got us last year? Minnesota and
Reps.
How did it I think Minnesota got you guys last year.
Yeah.
Reps.
And the year before you had another one too.
Yeah, I don't even remember, man. We always
Well, yeah. Don't talk. We don't talk about Penn State.
Well,
unless
the good
it was 09.
The good news is you guys don't play Penn State, Michigan, or Oregon this year.
I think
I
we'd
know.
give them all a run for their money, to be honest with you.
Defensively, yeah.
Yeah, I still think the offense is going to be better, guys. You gotta believe me, man. I'm telling you, it's gonna be better.
Let's put it this way.
Couldn't get worse, could it? Let's be
And
real.
that's what I was going to say.
No.
Is it physically possible to get worse?
For a college team full of D1 athletes, it couldn't have got worse, man. Come on.
Listen, when you have to put in somebody's contract, you have to average 25 points a game, and you can score them any way you want, special teams, defense, or offense.
Yep.
Or we can't renew your contract, and you still get fired.
Yep.
There's a problem.
He got pretty much escorted the door midway through the season, man. So let's be real on that one.
Well, I think halfway through the season, you guys had to average 68 points a game for him to hit 25 points.
Oh, he was dead to water, man. Partway through that
I think if Cade would have stayed healthy the entire season, I think we would have probably gotten like 26 or 27, I bet. Average.
I like Cade, and I think he's going to have a few big games for you guys this year.
I hope so, man. And you're the right person to ask about that too, because he used to play for you guys as well. So I mean, I need to ask you more questions about him. But
like one of his best games was first year starting was against Michigan State. Michigan lost the game, but he balled out in it.
Dude, he balled out that whole year, man.
Like he's not going to give you flash.
Nope.
If you want these big plays of him running around and extending plays, but what he's not going to do is he's not going to turn the ball over. And he's going to give you the opportunity to flip the field. And with your defense, that's a win. Like with the defense Iowa has, that's a win.
Oh, yeah.
For sure.
Your problem is that your offense would put your defense in. You can't be on your side of the 50 6 times starting out and expect teams not to score. You know what I mean?
That Big Ten championship game last year.
Oh, yeah.
How often did we give them the ball inside the 20-yard line, inside the red zone?
Like you can't have that.
And we held Michigan to barely over 200 yards of offense. The national championship.
Insane.
No, I think the first big play was the
kick return or whatever it was.
Oh, where that dude
Iowa
chased him down.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like that was crazy. That was the first big play of the game.
Yep. Well, not even the defense, not even the offense's fault. It was just a bonehead. Usually we're good on special teams. That's the thing that was crazy about that is I don't remember last time we gave up something that huge, and then we do it in that game. And I was like, shit, man.
The best part of that whole play, though, is the same guy who missed the tackle is the same guy who tackled him on the 4-yard line.
I want to know his 40, dude.
It wasn't a 40. It was his angle. It's all about angles.
I know, but I still want to know how fast that dude runs.
And he knew his ass was in trouble, so he better get a hoofing, man. He blew that tackle down
definitely.
Yeah, he was looking to the sideline, and Ferentz did not look happy.
Luke
Lachey. He never looks happy.
Big Ten backers, what up, boys? How are you guys doing? I agree. Luke Lachey is going to have a coming out party.
Tight end you, baby.
I'm going to call him Mr. 98 Degrees since his cousin, I'm pretty sure his cousin, is Nick Lachey. Pretty sure.
He's got a brother too. I can't remember.
98 degrees, baby.
98 degree guys, Drew and Nick, I think.
You guys just mass produce tight ends. What do you guys?
I don't ask, man. I don't know how.
In the fields around there, it's the corn you grow or something. You just feed these guys and they turn into tight ends.
Yep.
If that was the case, I would be a former tight end myself, but that I don't know, man.
When I was playing tight end, wasn't cool, so. Otherwise, I would have been.
Now everybody wants to be a tight end.
Hell yeah, it's fun, man.
No.
So what do you guys? So I got him at 10-2. What do you guys got him at? How close am I to the experts?
Ooh, all right, we can do that. Hold on, let me. Or do you actually? Let's walk through yours first. I want you to go game by game.
Illinois State is a win. I don't think we have to discuss those. Illinois State and Troy. They're not going to be able to score on you guys.
I'm curious about Iowa State with you, and I'm pretty sure you're going to pick win, but I also want to know why, because from what I've been hearing, Iowa State is a sleeper in the Big 12. So I'm curious.
I don't trust Matt Campbell.
No. Ooh.
Sounds about right.
You're one of the few people I've ever heard that say that, to be honest with you.
And it's the Big 12. They can't match up with the Big 10. Let's be honest here. That's a pillow fight compared to the Big 10.
I like it.
We play defense.
Yeah. They do make a good point. They return the most, I'm pretty sure.
They do.
They do return a lot, and they're going to be good. I think you guys are going to win. I think Matt Campbell's going to cost them the game.
So do you think it'll be close, or do you think it'll be usually Iowa State? If you ever go back and look, it's usually pretty close. So what happens is, like, first 3 quarters, it's really freaking close, like to the point where any play.
I have you guys winning by 10.
Okay, that seems about
in
right.
A high-scoring
like
17-7 game.
Oof.
You say 17-7?
Yeah.
He did.
Ooh.
He did.
Sounds like our Iowa style football, baby.
I think
I
think you guys are going to have a very similar season to last year.
So
bet the unders.
Oh, I'm taking the unders for sure.
And I want to do a personal bet with you, Mike, because I'm being an optimist this year. Damn it.
Okay, so what's the bet?
I think they're gonna be top 80 offense at least, which is what I think they need to
bold.
I might change it. I still got one more week before the season actually kicks, so I may change it. But right now I'm sitting at top 80. They don't need to be perfect. They just need to, like, run the damn ball.
Are you saying top 80 as in, like, could be top 50, or you want to just lump it in as, like, maybe 50 to 80?
I would say, yeah, let's do that. Actually,
that would be an average offense, right?
No, you gotta top 80.
That's an average
bold
offense.
Prediction. Right? A bold prediction saying you're gonna be top 60, top 80. Let's be honest.
All right, fuck it. I'll do 70. I'll do 70.
Meet you in the middle.
So let's meet at 65.
Okay.
You can't be worse than 65.
Okay.
And we'll put a case of beer on it.
Ooh.
What are we doing? What do we do?
That's with a good time.
You want to do Labatt? Is that how you say it? Labatt?
No, Labatt. No. I'll do Miller Lite or something like that. I like Yingling, but I don't know if you guys have Yingling down there. I know in Florida. Yingling. I know in Florida you got the Yingling.
Not in Iowa, I believe.
Loves it. Pennsylvania beer, but yes, it's good.
So yeah, I'm a big fan of. We could do Miller Lite or something. We'll put a case of beer on it.
So you got 3-0, right, Mike?
Yeah,
cool.
3-0 to start.
Conference game on the road.
Minnesota, no quarterback. So they're not going to be able to score points. You guys are going to win, and you guys are going to win big. And I think Cade's going to have a big game in this game.
Ooh, I like it.
Is Fleck on the hot seat, though?
Fleck, yeah. Let me see what I put.
He is finally. I hope so.
At some point.
You guys have beat him 8 out of the last 9 times.
We'll say 9 out of 9, but anyway, carry on.
So yeah, I don't think Minnesota's going to have a very good offense this year.
And how long has that guy been there for now? What season is this? 7, 8?
It's got to be.
You're thinking of that Morgan dude, or no?
Fleck's been there a while, dude.
Fleck's got to be there 6 years.
I'm stupid. My bad.
No, you're right.
You were talking about that.
Because he came from
Tanner Morgan. My bad.
From what? Central Michigan?
Western Michigan.
Western.
Row the boat.
Row the boat. Oh, the boat's gonna sink again. Sorry, buddy.
And then week 5.
Dun dun dun.
They're on a mission. I think they're going to be on a mission this year.
All right, I just want Iowa to cover in that one. That's it. That's all I ask.
Yeah, I do too.
If the spread is 20, I want it to be 19. I'll be okay with that. I'm cool with that.
I got it 45-3 Ohio State.
Oh,
well, everything I read about Ohio State, like their defense, their offense is having a hard time scoring on that defense, and they're loaded.
Like, well, that makes me feel better.
You shouldn't be able to have that much talent on a roster.
Oh boy!
Like people should. The Big Ten should be
a receipt I can cash back in on you later, Mike.
Listen, if they win, if Iowa wins, I'll buy you a case of beer too.
Oh,
Bet.
Actually, when I come down to Florida, I will drive it to you.
Ooh, even better. Even better.
Yeah, I'll pick up a nice case of Yingling and
Free
drop
beer
it
always
off.
tastes better. Free beer always tastes better. Just know.
Then we got Washington.
Washington.
Washington's one of those teams. They're not going to look like they're not going to be the same team as last year, right? Too much turnover.
No, definitely.
They got gutted.
But they got 3 starters returning.
Yeah, I got you guys winning that game too. And another close 27-17, 10 points.
Oh, man. I'm going to be there for that, man.
All right. I'll take it. I'll take the W. That's fine.
Yeah.
And then Michigan State. You guys are going to win this game, but Michigan State has an X factor in that was his name. Aiden Childs, the transfer, the young quarterback that followed Jonathan Smith. If he's as advertised, Michigan State's going to be better than a lot of people think.
Man, I didn't even know about that.
I can see it.
Like there was an article that came out too for predictions for Michigan State, and I think it was Maurice Harris that wrote it. I think he has them winning 8 games, Michigan State, and considering the pick to 4.5 is the over/under in Vegas.
Oh wow!
And they were picked to finish dead last. Like that could be one of those. You know what that could be? The bad loss.
Man, I hope not. I hope not. I don't want that. No bad losses this year. We got to do this. All right, so you're taking a W though, right?
I got the W there. Northwestern, I got the W. Wisconsin, I got the W. Wisconsin, I don't know what they're doing. If they're going to be the traditional run game, or they're going to pass the ball 700 times, like I don't know what's going on with Wisconsin.
I can tell you what, that stretch that they're going to be on when they do play us, they have a 4-game stretch. Look good. Let me pull this up real quick.
Look at the stretch Michigan State's on when they play you guys.
Oh, I'll have to look at that. All right, you ready for Wisconsin's stretch here?
Yeah.
So they got Penn State coming to town, then they come to Iowa, and then they have Oregon come to town, and then they go to Nebraska. Ouch.
Michigan State goes Ohio State, Oregon, you guys at Michigan.
Oh.
In 4 straight games.
Jeez. Something's got to give for them, right?
Damn, that's crazy.
Something has to give. Like you can't
having Ohio State and Oregon back to back, but then you're going to throw in Iowa's defense, and then you're going to play the backyard brawl in Ann Arbor. Like that's a daunting 4-week stretch.
That's crazy. We got blessed. I'm not gonna lie.
Michigan State might be dead. Michigan State might be dead after that one.
Oh, yeah, we got pretty lucky. I just saw a thing today. Lowest team, or we are one of the lowest teams. We only play one ranked opponent to start the season. One.
You want to see a schedule? Go look at who the Big Ten. I mean, not the Big. I know they talked about it. Rutgers is going to be one of those sleeper teams. Have you looked at their schedule yet?
Isn't it pretty easy like ours too?
Yeah, I think they missed everybody. I don't think they played Michigan, Ohio State, Penn State, Oregon, and I think there's one more team they missed.
They skipped us. We don't play them this year. We don't play them until like 2028 or some shit.
Yeah, so then it's you guys. Like they don't play no one.
God.
And he can coach. He's done it before. He can coach.
We kick their ass. Fuck them.
Like that's the team. I think a lot of you could see them at 10-2 easy. Depending on how their schedule plays out, you could have a few teams at 10-2 by the time the season ends.
Man, that's crazy to think about, but I can see it. I can totally see it, man.
As far as that graphic goes, buddy, that's something I wouldn't brag about because that's probably going to keep us out of the playoff if push comes to shove towards the end of the year, which sucks, but.
Are you bragging about that? That's just saying ouch.
No.
We got.
Then you got Maryland. Until I know who their quarterback's going to be,
Oh, I forgot about them.
what the team's going to be like. But they do have all season to find him, right?
Right.
That game.
Oh yeah.
That one I took a shot. I think it's going to be low scoring, 14-6. Because at Big Ten Media Days, Loxley was talking about the defense a lot. A lot of players returning and stuff. So I could see that being one of those defensive battles. 100%.
What's the over-under for Maryland this year? Do you know off the top of your head?
No, not off the top of my head.
Okay, that's fine.
Who you got in the Friday night game out west? UCLA.
I already know. I think
I'm taking you guys. I'm taking you guys.
Really?
Yeah.
So that means the last loss is coming on Black Friday.
Nebraska. I don't trust UCLA this year.
No?
I don't know why. A couple of people I talked to said the same thing. Some think they're going to be better than people think, and some think they're going to have a very rough year in the Big Ten.
Boy. I've heard
Did you catch the Big Ten backers interview with the dude from UCLA? I think his name was James.
No,
you should check it out. It's a really good interview. If you want to learn a lot about UCLA, that's a great freaking piece to listen to. But anyway,
he played there, right?
Yeah,
He's a linebacker. I think he was a linebacker. I thought that's what they said.
I can't remember off the top of my head, but yeah, if you want to go check out their page and check that out,
they always have good stuff on. They always have good stuff on the Big Ten backers.
Oh yeah,
shout out
I love
backers.
listening to them. Yes,
excellent show all the time.
But he was saying, or no, actually, he wasn't saying. Excuse me. One of the fans. Oh Jesus. Oh God. This is one of my buddies, Nate's. What's up, Nate? So he was saying there is a fan on there that thinks they're going to go 8-4.
Ooh.
And this dude was probably the dean of UCLA fans, and I was mightily impressed, considering they have every single professional sports team in the area, and you got USC. I was very impressed with that.
What up, Dean?
Dean, the dean of info. I love this guy, man.
I love Dean.
It's so much good info. I love it. He's got a podcast too, by the way, on YouTube called Talking Iowa Sports. We'll post it sometime on the page.
All right, what's the keys to that last game? What do you got? What makes Nebraska come in?
I think Dylan Viola is going to be the real deal. Unfortunately,
you think he's going to be able to handle Kinnick at night in November?
So,
I think by then, yeah,
he's not going to come to Jesus when he's like a junior or a sophomore, like a lot of the superstar quarterbacks do. He's going to come in right away and just be a gangster.
I don't think right away, but you have him at the end of the year.
Right. That's true.
That game could be a lot different if you're playing on week 4.
Yeah, that's very true.
You're giving him a whole year to develop. And let's be honest, Matt Rule, build a program, wins everywhere he pretty much goes, right?
So here's my next question. Do we have two teams going to be 10-1 coming into Iowa City that day?
Yeah. I haven't really looked at Nebraska's schedule.
9-2.
Well, since
I got to see who Nebraska plays.
I'll help you out a little bit because
they have Ohio State,
so that's
loss.
That's a loss, but I think they'll go undefeated into.
Because you got to remember, Nebraska had 5 one-score games last year.
Yep.
And they turned the ball over like it was their job.
Yeah, that was tough to watch. Yes, somewhere. Yes.
I think they were minus 17 at the end of the season. I think the stat was.
Damn.
In turnovers. So think about if they lost 5 games and they were minus 17. If they take that minus 17 and turn it to minus 2 or 3, how many games do they win?
I have them at 9-2 coming into Black Friday.
That's gonna be a big ass game.
Who's the 2 losses?
USC and Ohio State.
Is it at USC?
Yes.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, especially if they found a defensive coordinator.
But they do play Rutgers. I forgot to tell you guys, they do play Rutgers as well. So that's a toss-up, but I'm leaning win for that one. So
I think Nebraska is another one of those teams that's going to be. You're going to be surprised at the end of the year to see them in the graphic.
Oh, wouldn't shock me.
So here's a question for you guys: at 10-2, does Iowa get into the playoff?
No. They'll be like, I bet you they'll be like 15 or 16. To be honest with you, something wild. It's just an Iowa thing to me. Like, what would it be? The first, what do they call that? The first two out, like what they did last year, right? Is that what they called that?
Yeah, but I think it changed because you'd be
okay. Well,
because
they'll
you'd be
be just
13, 14 would be the first two out, right?
Yes. So they'll be just outside of that, and it'll be because of that second loss. Now, hold on a second. Sorry, Brad.
I have a way they can get in. You go first.
Okay.
With 2 losses.
I may have to hop into that too. So if they play, if the 2 losses, so I have, well, I'll talk about it later, but the 2 losses, if they play close, I'll speak on one. Ohio State, if it's really close, if it's less than, I'd say 10 points, I think, and Jesus throws down a miracle, I think Iowa, can get in. But it just has to be close losses, though.
I think they can get in if we lose to Iowa State and they run the table, and Ohio State runs the table. You have a
2002.
You have a 10-2 team. It's the Big 12. Iowa State returns a lot of people. If somehow they go in there and they win that damn thing, and they're 12-1, or whatever they could be, a 12-1 Iowa State will be ranked in the top 10. Ohio State will be, depending on that Oregon game, unbeaten or 1 loss. Same shit. It all depends on how the rest of the cookie crumbles the rest of the way. I could see it.
Yeah.
See, the problem's going to be is the brands that could be sitting there at 10-2.
Yeah. There could be a chunk of them.
I could see a Michigan at 10-2. I could see Penn State at 10-2. You could see Iowa at 10-2. If Nebraska all of a sudden is at 10-2, then you start looking at it. Well,
who they beat?
Who you get? What Big Ten? Let's be honest. Brands are going to get in, right?
Yep, for sure.
If assuming Oregon and Ohio State are probably going to be either, I think Ohio State's going to be perfect and Oregon's going to have 1 loss. I think Ohio State goes into Eugene and beats them. Then you got to look at what brands are going to be sitting there. Iowa or Michigan? Who's the committee picking? Unfortunately, it's probably Michigan.
Oh, for sure. Defending national champion? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And the executives have a seat at the table. Let's be honest here, right? It's about matchups now. Same thing they're going to do in college basketball. When all of a sudden you look, Michigan State's playing a player that transferred over there. Then all of a sudden the following week, the next week, if they win, they play Duke. So you get the Coach K and Izzo matchup. Like that, it doesn't just happen. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
If all of a sudden Alabama's sitting there in the Rose Bowl, you know that the executives are going to be like, maybe a rematch if Michigan's there or if Penn State's there. That's the problem Iowa's going to have. You're going to need those 2 schools to lose again.
Yeah.
And then you got USC sitting there too, where if they're better than most people, if they find a defense.
Ooh, shots fired. Yeah.
Yeah. Not when they play Iowa, though.
You want our picks now?
Yeah, what do you guys got?
Yeah, what do we got? Let's see what we got.
Brandon, fire it off. So I'm 10-2.
Right. Illinois State, W. Iowa State. I think it's going to be a really close game for the first 3 quarters, and then Iowa's going to do what they usually do when they win against Iowa State. They pull away in the 4th off of a pick 6. Cue Sebastian Castro. Troy, I don't see a problem with us beating them. Minnesota will get revenge. Ohio State will lose. I'll go into more detail when the preview for that game comes because I really don't know exactly who we are yet. before I decide how bad we're going to lose to them.
We got to see the offense.
Washington, good old Washington. If you live in Iowa, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about when I say Washington.
Sure do.
I'm going to be at this game. I'm fucking jacked for this game. Definitely going to have a big tailgate, ladies and gentlemen. I'll post something about that later just because welcome to the Big Ten. That's a W. Yes. What's up?
Oh, no. I thought you meant you were going to the Michigan State game.
No, hell no. Can't afford it. Sparty. So I was going back and forth between UCLA and Michigan State just for the fact of UCLA is on the West Coast and Iowa doesn't do well on the West Coast. But then I also thought, well, Iowa never does well in Michigan State. So that's going to be our little slip up. But this is where it gets better. We're going to beat the hell out of Northwestern. It ain't going to be no BS like there was last year in Wrigley Field, which it just completely shamed. I'll explain later.
Did you guys
ever see
the stats for that game?
Which one? I don't even want to look at it.
At Wrigley Field?
I don't want to look at it. It makes me sick.
There was 6 more baseball games that scored more points than that game.
And we tore that field up bad. That was wild.
6 Cub games had more points scored at home than that game.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that was a tough watch.
And the QB for Northwestern was Mr. Sullivan.
Yep. Where Chris is at. Here comes Wisconsin. I think this is going to be a very low scoring game. I think it's actually, November 2nd. Usually in years past, this is a very, very cold game. And sometimes there's snowflakes. Sometimes it's just really gray, gloomy, and windy. And we ain't got time for that. So with that being said, it's just going to be a big defensive battle. I can see it being like a 10-3 game, to be honest with you, kind of like last.
See, whether like that now, because Wisconsin wants to be more of a passing team, right?
Yep.
That favors you guys. That favors you guys.
It does, but it's Wisconsin and Iowa. For some reason, that game, it reminds me a lot of Iowa State. Low scoring, physical, smash mouth football. And it's probably going to be, if you're a defensive fan, that's the game to watch. UCLA, I think we overcome the West Coast BS that Iowa's been through the last, I don't know how many times we've tried to travel out there. I'm not going to mention 2015.
If it's not a bowl game,
I don't care. No.
And let's be honest.
Yes, I know.
And the stadium will probably have more Iowa fans in it than UCLA fans.
Easily. I've already seen posts and everything from people that are already getting tickets, and they're always saying they're going, so. Yes.
To go to a UCLA game, I think they give you incentives. Buy a ticket. Here's 6 beers.
What is it? What do they drink out there? Golden Road or something like that?
You ever see the pictures from there? The stadium always looks half empty.
Oh yeah.
The Rose Bowl when they have their home games.
Bowl. Oh yeah. Maryland. I think this one will be really, really tough. It has a potential for a trap game just because I think they're going to be possibly looking ahead to Nebraska. So I'm going to chalk this one up as a win. It's going to be like 20-17, something goofy like that. Stevens with the walk-off. Inhale, exhale. Here comes the fun one. So
that says
Black
a lot.
Friday.
That says a lot right there, Chris.
I know.
That's crazy. If that's actually true.
Yeah. I believe it.
Chris would know too.
Oh my God. Well, he would know, right? He is the Vanderbilt guy.
He's the Vandy fan with a lot of Iowa knowledge, and I love it. Okay. So a little bit of a into the future Confucius thing here. So I think Iowa's going to get Nebraska this year. I know Dylan Raiola is going to have a full season by then. Everybody's going to be clicking. Nebraska Nebraska's going to be at 9 wins, and Iowa's going to be at 10 or not 10 wins, 9 wins too. So they both be at 9. So it's once again going to be low scoring because I think both defenses will be clicking. And I think this one will go into overtime, but Iowa will squeak it out. Now, with that being said, I think after this year, I think it's going to become a better rivalry other than Iowa dominating all the time. So I think we're going to have some back and forth going forward, especially since I know we're losing a lot of people. Yes, what's up?
What's the score of the Nebraska game?
I think it's going to be like,
because I'll tell you,
17,
I got 2016, so I just want to see how close I am to you.
17-14, I think. Yeah. About 17-14. Because it'll be cold.
I got to call the book. I got to start betting the unders right now.
Always.
Got to make the phone call. Right now.
We'll do it. We'll put you on mute. You can go ahead and make the phone call on air. Actually, yeah, go right ahead, man.
And you need to make that bet on that Washington game. I'm pretty sure it's 4.5 Iowa's favorite. I think they win by more than that easy.
Oh, easily.
So 4.5. Take it. Take Iowa to cover that one. Oh. All right, so you got them 10-2. All right.
Yep.
I like 2 at 10-2. 2 at 10-2. Let's see what you got.
I got them 9-3, man.
Oh my gosh! You had all this time to fix this, buddy.
Everything straight across, same as you guys, man. Illinois State. I mean, they probably have some decent players. I think they're ranked 20th in FCS, but not enough to compete. That Iowa State game, the only reason I'm really giving us the nod is it's in Kinnick. To be honest with you, I think if we had to go to Ames, it's probably a whole different ball game.
You know what? You're probably right because it's a home game, gives you guys the advantage, and I just think your defense can play with their offense.
Yeah.
In the last time we lost though to them was at home.
I think you're right. I don't want to talk about it, but I'm taking that.
I know. Me too, man. I know.
Is that a night game?
3 o'clock, 3:25. Is it?
Okay. Yeah, it's an afternoon game.
So
it should be a good one. Troy, they just lost too much once they lost their coach. I think when this was on paper, if this was last year's game, that's a good game. I mean, I'm pretty sure Troy has won like 20 games the last 2 years, 20 plus combined. But they lost everybody, coach, players. I'm taking Iowa easy in that one. At Minnesota, same reason as you. I think that boat sinks, and I think that game will officially put him on the hot seat, considering he's only beat them once, or beat us once. Ohio State, yes, we know. Again, I just want us to cover. End of the day, I don't care what it is. Let's just cover or be under. Make it look presentable. After our outing last year against ranked teams, where we didn't score a single point, I would like to see us put up at least 17 points in this thing.
What's the spread for that? Do you know off the top of your head?
I have not looked at that one. I have a feeling it's probably 21 and a half range, 3 scores. If I'm a betting man and I'm not, that would be what I'd say. And then I got Washington. They're going to get a hello surprise when they come into Kinnick Stadium. Big noon kickoff. Probably going to be a pretty rowdy crowd. You're thinking we're going to have a 4-1 Iowa team in there ready to go.
Definitely.
Lot to still prove and win. I think they get it done, obviously, and I think they cover that 4.5 easy. I think it's a 14-point win at least. Michigan State, they don't scare me. I don't think that they're going to have much firepower to compete with that defense, man. That quarterback may be an X factor in some games, but I just think with that secondary and that core of linebackers, man, he's not going to be able to pass the ball. If he can't pass the ball, what are they going to do? They're not going to run it because, again, they're going to get met by those linebackers. So I got us taking that one. I got us taking Northwestern pretty easy. And that Wisconsin one, man, they're just our thorn in the side on my side. Every year I think we are better than them. They come around and they kick our ass. And it goes both ways. I've seen it before where they were ranked and we've gone into Madison and beat them. They've won 8 of the last 12 against us. I can't. I want to do it, but I can't. So I got to give it. That's our second loss there. And then that heading out west, man, I can't get over that. Until I see this offense, if we march out with an offense similar to last year and we head out there on a Friday, it's not going to go well. It's going to look like we didn't get off the damn plane, and we're going to be in for one of those bad losses. So I got a loss there. I hope I'm wrong on that one. Maryland, I think that would be a really good game, honestly. I'm taking us on the road in that one. And then, man, this one I was like 50-50 on, but I'm giving the nod to Black Friday night game in Kinnick in November with a lot on the line as the deciding factor. If both teams are 9-2 rolling into that game, or I guess we'd be 8-3, 8-3, 9-2. Even if it goes your guys' way, where we're 9-2 or 10-1, that place is going to be insane. I've been to some games. I've been to those games where I went to the 2015 game where we were 12-0 or 11-0 going in there. The amount of that was in Lincoln, and that place was rowdy as hell with Iowa fans. We went in there. It was a snowstorm, or actually an ice storm the night before, and we drove over like 20, 30 miles per hour until we got to Lincoln, and it was full of Iowa fans, and it was rowdy as hell. This would be that times 1,000, man, because both programs, high level, both programs want this to be a rivalry, but I think we get it done. And that's what I got. I got 9-3. I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm more of that 10-2 range with you guys, but again, I can't make some of these predictions without seeing that offense. And I'm not going to give you a score for Ohio State either. Ain't going to happen.
That's okay.
Can try for the other ones.
That Nebraska game in Iowa, if they're both sitting there on the fringe of possibly making a playoff, that game's going to be must watch.
Oh, heck yeah. Fox. Oh, wait, did they already announce the TV for that?
No, I know it's at 7:30, so that would be either Big Ten Network or NBC.
I don't know. On that day, it might be an NBC game.
That just sounds weird to me, though. Just still does. I'm not quite used to that yet. NBC, yeah, you're right.
Game. Is it NBC that, or is it CBS that does the night game?
It's NBC. I just looked.
So NBC night game on a Friday. That's going to be crazy, man.
Michigan, Ohio State at noon. Then you got Alabama, Auburn. Who else plays that day? There's a couple of big games. Texas A&M is back.
Yep.
Wait, Mike. So Michigan, Ohio State's on that Friday?
Not the Friday. Oh, that's the Friday.
Oh, okay. Dude,
that's a good weekend
for a second.
Okay, sorry, it's a good weekend. I got Friday night that, then open up Saturday.
Okay.
The only problem is I'm being Columbus on Saturdays, so I got to put up with all the Ohio State fans.
Yeah, I was scared there for a minute that was going to be on Friday.
I forgot it was the Friday.
Yep.
Oh man.
Thanksgiving weekend. Oh, perfect. That atmosphere is going to be. Are you going to the game?
I will probably have tickets by the end of it. I work at the university, so if I can go to any game I want as long as it's home. So, because all I got to do is walk around the floors and somebody will have tickets. So, it's usually how it works.
It's gonna be holding a tin can.
Tickets. Please,
I'll clean your office for 2 tickets. I'll clean your office for 2 tickets.
Yep. You need your trash taken out, sir?
Here's 2 tickets. Please, sir, may I have some more?
Please document this so we can share it on the air.
Oh my God! Can you imagine see him walking around the campus of Iowa? Yep. You need your garbage taken out. You have 2 tickets.
Hey, that'd be a good segment, man. Can Brandon score tickets to the Iowa-Nebraska game? And we'll just follow him around with a camera.
Next time I'll wear my badge while on air. Maybe next week I can start wearing my badge and here you go. Sign in. Time to work. What's this?
Oh, I think it will be. I think it'll be a good game, Chris. I think I'm with you on that one.
I think it's going to be a great game.
Yep.
I just hope the weather's decent.
Same. I'm predicting blizzard.
It's fun to watch those games. but action-wise, sometimes you're just like, come on.
Hey, that
Can't see nothing, man.
that damn Iowa State game they had in that blizzard or wherever the hell that was last year was fucking fun, and somehow they scored a shit ton of points.
Oh, that was awesome.
That was like both teams were just back and forth, dude, and they're ripping off long ass 70-yard runs and shit. And I'm like, what the hell, man? There's 3 inches of snow on the ground. Damn, dude.
That's a team that gets a lot of Iowa players too. Is K-State, that little pipeline that Bill Snyder had? I know he's not there anymore, but that was an Iowa factory for some reason. A lot of kids, if they didn't get into Iowa or whatever, it seemed like they always went down to freaking K-State.
They're gonna have a pretty good. They're gonna have a pretty good team this year.
I think so too. I actually have, let's see, K-State, Okie State, and Utah are my like top 3. Not in any order for the Big 12. So
here's a question for you guys. I know it's early. How many Big 10 teams get into the first 12-team playoff?
3 or 4.
You guys really think 4?
yes,
Depends.
How many SEC teams get it?
I gotta meditate and think because I really
4.
I told you on the text I was going to make you think today, Brandon.
I appreciate that. I think it's going to be 4. Yeah, I'm with you, Brad, on that one.
I don't remember what we picked for.
So you're at 9. You're at 9 with a group of 5
Actually,
between the
God
SEC
dang it,
and
Brad. Let me see that graphic. No, you don't
Can't
have
do
to
it.
show me.
I can't remember what we picked.
Damn it, Mike.
We did pick these, Mike. We just don't remember what we picked now. So much shit been
Yeah.
going on.
I was just wondering what you guys think because I was thinking like maybe 3 Big 10 teams.
Who you
Depending
got?
on depending on what the other conferences do.
Well, who's your
I'm
third
scared.
then? Penn State,
Yeah. Who's
I'd probably go.
Michigan.
he's going to be a homer. Here we go.
If they have a defense, I could see the 3 being Ohio State, Oregon, and USC.
If they have a defense, yeah, I can see that.
If they have it.
There's so many different if scenarios this year, man. Because
That's the problem with the Big Ten this year. You think about teams, you're like, if Michigan has a quarterback, they have 3 guys ranked in the top 50 for defense. Their defense should be really good. But I have no idea who the quarterback is yet. The guy they said is going to start through 1 pass in 2 years.
I was just about to ask you.
What'd they say?
Alex Orji.
Jeez.
He looks like he could play the position. He has the body type. But I've only seen him throw 1 pass in 2 years. So it's kind of hard to know how he's going to do in the passing game.
Right. And make those bold predictions of, hey, they're making the playoff, but I haven't seen this guy throw a damn pass.
Penn State is James Franklin's James Franklin. Just look at his record, right?
Oh, yes.
If he can get out of his own way, is what you're saying, maybe?
But they always seem to be in that 10 to 12 spot
Yep.
at the end of the year, right?
Yep.
So did they find themselves in there? Or if Iowa has an offense, is it Iowa who sneaks in there?
Ooh.
These power conferences,
know,
man, that's going
man.
to make it interesting. That's why this
It
12
is.
going to be
It
Yeah,
is.
because if
crazy.
so, you got 4 and 4. If you go SEC 4, Big 10 4, the group of 5 gets 1. So you're at
ACC.
9. ACC
They'll get 1.
1. Notre
Penn State
Dame.
get 2. Notre Dame might.
Depend. So that means the ACC and the Big 12 get 1 and 1.
Yeah,
I
Big
can-
12
yeah.
gets 1.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can't
I think
see
it's-
like a Utah K-State sneaking in from the Big 12.
Dude, we'd have to look at their schedules and we'd do a deep dive. I could see Utah making it more than K-State, to be honest with you, because of just Cam Rising's a beast, in my opinion. I love that dude. He's like Gardner Minshew or Menshaw. That's who he looks like right now. Freaking what is it, 8th year?
Because he's what, in year 11?
I think so. Yeah. He's
Super
25.
Senior.
I did see that today. He is 25. So,
Oh, I thought his kid just enrolled. Sorry.
oh,
Thought he just moved his son in. My bad.
hey, that's no. I would say that's possible, but
I mean, it is Utah, but anyway, go on.
Because what I would love to see, and I'm not just saying it because I'm on with you guys, I would love to see a Southern school have to travel to Kennet December 20th for an outdoor game.
yes. Yes.
Like a Miami
I think the
Or-
world would love that.
LSU traveling to Kenneck mid-December. They might not even get off the plane.
Yeah.
You guys ever see Cool Runnings?
Oh yeah. It's a
You
good
know
movie.
the scene where the coach walks out of the airport and the Jamaicans are sitting in the airport and they're not coming out of the airport? That's what it would look like some of those southern teams. They'd get off the airplane, they'd be like, nope, going back.
Jesus. I did not know that.
I thought
Good Lord.
that was the Miami guy, the Miami tight end. I know that Miami's had a tight end. He's in his
If-
ninth year.
If you're playing football long enough that you can become a doctor,
That's insane, dude.
something went wrong.
He better be a doctor if you've been playing football that long. You haven't had to pay for school, man.
Or they're going to make Van Wilder 2 after you.
There you go, Hollywood. There's some ideas for you.
Boom.
Yeah,
Well,
I would love to see a Southern team come down and play you guys.
That'd be fun.
Oh yes. That would be awesome.
Because it's
Yeah.
always the northern teams that travel up there for bowl games. This will be the first time where some of them might have to come down here.
That'd be fun. Always
I
said
got
that.
a question. Oh, what's up? I got a real quick question. Will there be a group of 5 in the playoffs? Yes or no?
Well, there has to be one of them automatically get in, right?
Oh, is it? Is that how that?
Yeah.
Okay. So who?
One-
Who then? Excuse me, my bad. Who's making it?
Boise State. Let's go Boise State.
That's why.
Popular
The-
opinion.
The blue field.
Gee.
Now, I'll be honest with you. I think a group of 5 should have their own playoff. That's just my opinion. I'd probably get killed for it.
Yeah.
I don't think. Like, if you look at some of these schedules, right? Let's say a 1-loss, even a perfect group of 5 team gets over a 2-loss Big Ten team, but they played Ohio State, Oregon, USC, Nebraska. Like, there's a big difference in
Right.
playing week to week, right?
I mean, with that G5 guarantee, though. It's
Yeah.
gonna happen.
Yeah, because I think they're guaranteed a spot. The 4 conference champions all get first round buys.
Yep.
Then a group of 5 team gets in.
Okay.
Then the rest is the field, right? You figure Notre Dame's going to probably get in,
Somehow.
unfortunately. Just join the Big Ten. Enough with this independent nonsense. Can you just join the Big Ten? Let us get to 20 teams and call it a day.
I'm down with that. More
Sounds
football.
good, man.
More football, please.
Amen.
It's not long before they're probably going to go to more football.
Oh yeah. 13
Every year,
minutes.
teams will become more like the NFL.
I love
Like
it.
this year, it's going to be weird, not where your team can lose and it doesn't end your season.
That's true. That's nice, too.
That is.
Like, I'm going to have to reteach myself how to watch football. My team's going to lose 2 games, and I'm going to be like, oh, well, we could still make it. Where usually it'd be like, shut the TV off, throw things, tell my kids to get out of the house. Now it's not a big deal.
Man, Vandy is really hyping up this Texas State team. I'm gonna have to watch these guys.
It's got him going 12-0.
Yeah, but he also said Vanderbilt was going to win 8 games last year.
That is true.
I'm just joking,
Mike's
Vandy.
on
I'm
him
just
right
joking,
now.
Vandy.
Let's keep
I
it
don't think
receipts.
I wasn't in the dogs yet, so had no idea.
Ooh. He pleads the
I
fifth.
I said I was just
Oh,
joking,
God, it's gonna
Vandy,
be a
Chris. No,
Battleground on our
I
show.
did not.
Dang it.
All right.
Freaking Battleground.
All right. Well, let's take a break, Mike.
Yeah.
Thank you as always. If you want to let everybody know where they can find your article, where to find you,
College-
we appreciate you, man.
CollegeFootballDogs.com. CFD Germany's on Twitter. Mike Germany's on Facebook. And that's about it. And you know what, guys? Thanks for having me on. I love the show. The first 3 weeks have been excellent.
Thanks, man.
Excellent. Great vibe.
You will be back on.
Great vibe with you guys.
Appreciate it.
Too. I think your show's going to be a big hit, to be honest with you. And not just because I actually like you guys and I'm probably going to have to buy you guys beer.
Hey.
Yeah.
I like beer.
But it's been a good first 3 weeks.
Absolutely, man. Thank you.
Well, pleasure having you on again, as always, my friend.
And share the Iowa article if you guys have a chance.
Yeah, we will. As soon as we get off here, I promise we will.
Okay, guys. You guys have a great night.
All right, Mike. Take care. Thanks again, man.
You too.
All right, let's pay some bills real quick. We're going to take a quick little breather here. We're going to have a little ad from our college football dogs. This is the Hawkaholics podcast on the Dogs TV network.
On the College Football Dogs website, you'll find a main page that features some of our biggest and newest stories. Our conference pages for content related to your favorite team's conference. Our team store, where we have products that are available all year long, as well as gear available for a limited time only. Our podcast page, where you can see when one of the 12-plus College Football Dogs podcasts is streaming live on social media. Our subscription page, where you can join our Discord. If you're interested in becoming a contributor at College Football Dogs, email us at info@collegefootballdogs.com. If you enjoy any College Football Dogs content, we really do appreciate any donations you can make by visiting the donate page on our website or scanning the QR code here.
College Football Dogs, for the fans.
Sweet, man. We're back.
We back.
All right, let's do some Big Ten projections now. We already started talking about how we do on our season. Let's do some Big Ten projections. Let's start with the back half. We're going to skip right into it.
Okay.
Let's start with yours, my friend. Your back half. You don't need to go too much into this, man. I mean,
okay.
We'll get in the meat and potatoes. Anybody stand out to you? You got Indiana and Purdue as your last two teams.
The fact that Illinois is down so far surprises me. I'm starting to wonder if Indiana is going to be a lot better than that 17 spot, but new coach, new system, new everything. I don't know. I don't trust him. Now I could say the same thing about
It'd be like James Madison playing in the Big Ten. I don't think that's a good idea for sure. I mean, he brought a bunch of players with him.
Same thing about UCLA. I probably should have had them down further as well, but I just don't see the other two teams being better than UCLA. Michigan State is okay. Washington's decent. I know. This was, by the way, Vandy. This was made within like a day. I went through it with like just one day of going through everything and looking.
And it was like 3 weeks ago.
It was. So I probably should have just last minute changed this. So I can definitely tell you it'll be different if I did it today, but this is what I got for right now. But I will say though, let's get into the meat and potatoes, or unless you want to do your 9 through. Let's do your 9 through. Holy crap, dude.
I'll do mine. Well, very similar to yours. I have Indiana and Purdue at the bottom, Northwestern. Minnesota, I got 14th, though.
What?
UCLA, I guess we'll see how they come out. I may probably put them down lower, but this is what I got for my lower half.
I need you to explain number 9, buddy.
Number 9, that daunting schedule, dude. They also, you got to remember, they throw in Alabama. They could be 5-7. And that's not even like a bash on them. It's just they play a brutal schedule.
Just the schedule, it's down that far. Okay.
I mean, you're talking that 4-game stretch plus Alabama. Like, that's tough, man. That's the only reason I got them so low, to be honest with you.
So my thing, here's my problem with Wisconsin, and I think I'll get into that too when we go to the top 9, the upper 9, is I don't think Wisconsin's going to succeed with the air raid. I don't think Luke Fickell's offense is going to succeed at Wisconsin. They're just like us. They're a running team. I don't see. I mean, I think it's going to be rough, but then again, I think they'll be a lot better this year than they were last year. But I believe they need to run the damn ball. I don't think passing fits Wisconsin, but they do have pretty decent wide receivers. And I know they do produce good wide receivers. I mean, it's not necessarily every single year, but I do know like when they do have a good wide receiver, he's usually like a freaking beast and he is a huge playmaker and he wins them ball games. So it's just one of those things that I think, I don't know. I don't know. I've always thought the Fickell Wisconsin hire was not a good hire. I mean, he's a damn good coach, but what Wisconsin is as an identity, they're a run football team. So I don't know. We'll see, man.
All right, meat and potatoes time.
My favorite part.
All right, there you are. There's your top 7.
I am ready for the comments. Let's hear it, fellas and ladies, if there's any ladies on here. USC and Wisconsin, I think, are practically the same team. I think we just don't know a lot about them, especially since USC is joining the Big Ten and Wisconsin is still under a rebuild, whether you want to admit it or not. So we'll just and the schedule. That's why I have them tied with USC too. I think Wisconsin and USC will probably have the same record by the end of the year. Nebraska is going to be a lot better than people will think that they're going to be, and that's usually a very Nebraska thing to say. In Nebraska, they like to call it drinking the Kool-Aid. Well, now they call it the Rule-Aid.
I heard.
Oh yeah, they're pretty wild, man. They're good people, but they're wild.
Rule-Aid.
So this is where a lot of people differ. A lot of people seem to have Iowa at number 6 and USC at number 5 for some reason. I don't know why. I truthfully think Iowa is better than USC. And I think defense, like we all hear the saying, defense wins championships. I think Iowa's going to be a hell of a lot better this year. But then again, I don't think they're going to be as good as Penn State or Michigan. I just think the level of talent that Penn State and or Michigan brings in is just far superior to Iowa. Will Iowa ever get there? We don't know. It just depends on the coach and whatnot and how attractive the next coach wants to make Iowa, because I don't know how we're going to do, especially in the next couple of years. I'm actually really nervous about next year, so I'm going to enjoy this year as much as possible. So moving on, Michigan and Penn State, I kind of had trouble with this one, but at the end of it, I went with Michigan. I think James Franklin is James Franklin, like everybody says. I feel like Michigan is a lot better than people think they are, and you can call them cheaters all you want, which, I mean, kind of yes and kind of no. I mean, we don't really know the full details of it, but Harbaugh dipped out, which is a smart guy. And then Sir Stallion's got himself a high school job. I don't know if you heard that.
That's it. I did hear that.
Yeah, I'm proud of the guy, man. I should go look at his bio if the school that he went to has a bio. I'm curious what it'll say. And now, the top 2 teams for my Big Ten. I think, a little early prediction here, I think Ohio State's too damn good for the Ducks. I think Oregon, although I'm going to go with what the media says, that they're going to be good, but a part of me really hopes that they finish less than second. And I hope they get humbled, because I feel like they're coming in a little too cocky, kind of like somebody else that I know. 13, 14 years ago came in a little cocky, thinking they were going to run the Big Ten. I hope the same thing happens to Oregon. I hope they get the Nebraska trees
on your list. You talking about the number 6?
Yes, I'm talking about Nebraska. I want Oregon to get humbled,
I remember
just like Nebraska did. But I don't. But I'm probably going to be wrong on that one. So October 12th, and we will touch on this when the time comes. But as of right now, I feel like Ohio State's just going to sweep them. I think they're going to beat them in Eugene, and I think they're going to beat them in the Big Ten championship. Now, I have seen several people thinking that it's going to be Ohio State and Penn State in the Big Ten championship. I'll have to shoot you that article sometime when I see it. So,
interesting.
That being said, those are my meat and potatoes. Let's hear what your potatoes are. Just slap some gravy on that son of a bitch and let's roll, baby.
Here's my gravies. Got Rutgers
right.
number 8, just like Mike talked about, man. The schedule's favorable. They have some talented dudes, and we know Mr. Greg, however you say his name, or Greg Marciano or whatever his name is, he can coach, man, and he can coach at Rutgers. He's done it before. I think they're going to be a team that could flirt anywhere from 6 to 8, honestly. It just kind of depends on how the season goes. So I got them there. USC, I think they're a solid 7. I think with no answers on defense that we know about yet, and we haven't seen what they're going to put out there yet, I couldn't put them in the top 5 because you're not going to be top 5 without a defense in the Big Ten. It's just not going to happen. It's much too talented, especially if you go to the top 6 teams right there. There's too much talent right there. Too many All-Americans sitting there looking at you right now. No answers, so I can't put them in it. I got Nebraska at that 6, and it basically just comes down to that last game, obviously, between them and Iowa. Who gets that 5 spot? I made this 3 weeks ago. If I had to change this, I would honestly probably put Iowa at 4 and put Michigan at probably 6. But this is the one I'm going to take, and this is the one you guys can have the receipts on. So, because, there's going to be some sort of fallout from this Michigan thing, whether it impacts them or not. I don't know. I guess we'll see where it goes. It all depends if their coach gets dinged, to be honest with you. Coach gets dinged, that's a whole different ballgame. And then I got Penn State. As long as James Franklin stays out of his own way, I think they can limp themselves into that 3 spot and possibly make that playoff. I mean, like we talked about earlier, they're usually around that 12 range anyway. I see no difference in this season. It just kind of depends on how everybody else around them finishes. At least that next 3 teams between Michigan on this graphic, Iowa and Nebraska. And then obviously the top 2 teams are the same in everybody's thing. Except for I'm taking the Ducks. To be honest with you, I don't really know. I know they got a good quarterback.
Yeah.
I think he is going to be the real deal. They're loaded with speed. They're loaded with talent on the offensive line. They're loaded with talent on the defense. They're just honestly, it's going to come down to October 12th. I mean, that's make or break on this one, to be honest with you. October 12th, when they match up, that's going to be the make or break of who wins the conference, basically. Because, I don't know. I guess we'll see how the cookie crumbles. But that's mine. That's my meat and potatoes. Not anything crazy or anything like that.
Bad. No.
So now, if Iowa is going to be 10-2, who do you have as the offensive player that must show up? Do you need me to just show it for you?
I believe I said Caleb Johnson.
You sure did.
Dude. Iowa is going to win off the run. Every single reporter that I've heard on a podcast, not ours, everything I've read says Iowa will win ball games with their running game. Now, Barnett, our nice line coach, I really hope and pray to God there is some improvement, because that is one thing that I was really pissed off about last year was the line looked like shit. Now, if there's some form of improvement this year, if the holes are getting open and we are just tearing things apart with our one-hitter quitter, Caleb Johnson and LaShawn Williams. Although I did hear, I'm probably going to be wrong on this one, I did hear LaShawn Williams is number 1.
Yes.
For the depth chart. I believe I could be wrong, but then again.
He's looking big. He's looking beefed up, dude.
But then again, once again, when did we make these? probably 3 weeks ago.
Yep.
So
This is your receipt, baby. You
I
gotta
will
go
take
with
the receipt, but I really think Iowa has to have a big year on the run game, and our fucking offensive line needs to block for us because, god damn it, we have been known in the past for our line, and it's about damn time we start cashing them damn checks because I am
Right.
sick and tired of just blown assignments left and right. I'm sick of the holes being just freaking tiny little things. So at the end of the day, the run game's going to get us to where we need to be, my friend.
Very nice. All right, you ready for mine?
Of course I am.
I knew you would be. I'm going Caleb.
Oh, snap.
Listen, we only used him the last 3 games of the year. Regular season.
True.
And when we did, that was the best our offense have looked all season. He makes the defense commit. The guy has speed. He has the ability. He's a transfer from Ohio State. I don't know why we didn't use him more last year. I said it all of last year. Why are we not getting this guy the damn ball? I think this year, I think we see a healthy dose of him. I really do.
I do too.
Whether he's running the ball, I know we had him do some end around and some runs last year. He kind of reminds me of Smith Marset with his skill set.
Bit. Yeah, I can see
He's
that.
very fast. He does really good routes, and he can also run the ball. And I think for us to be, I guess, spread the field and stretch people and not let them load the box on us, I think he has to have a coming out year for us. And this is, I mean, with Tim Lester, what better time than now? We knew it wasn't going to happen last year, but I did expect that we got him the ball more than the last 3 regular seasons of the game or the season. Like, come on, man. Guy's got talent, clearly. You don't go to Ohio State if you don't have talent, period. So he is my X factor. If we use him enough, obviously, I think you're right, and we're going to hinge off the run game for sure. I mean, that's always been Iowa football, and that's the offense Tim Lester wants to run anyway, is that style where it's run first, which opens up your passes. A lot of movement, a lot of keeping the defense guessing. I think he has to have an outstanding season for us to really, really, really push this offense in the right direction. Because if we're one-dimensional, I don't care how good our line is or how good our running backs are, man. They load that box, you don't stand a chance. I mean,
yeah.
8 versus 7, 8 versus 6 wins every time. Mostly. Right. I mean, if you're going to run the ball, it wins every time almost. Like, that's hard. So we got to be able to spread the field with him, and I think it starts with Caleb Brown.
I can tell you right now, he's going to have some highlights this year. He's going to have some beautiful highlights that'll be on Sports Center or honorable mentions. Yeah, who cares?
He came out and he publicly apologized for his choice that he made there, and you don't see that very often nowadays. Not even that. Usually out of Iowa's camp, you don't usually see that. When they get in trouble, it's usually handled in-house, and we call it good. He came out this week and apologized for his actions, and I think he'll take his 1-game suspension versus Illinois State, which will be fine without him. And I think we come in with 0 tape for Iowa State, and I think they kind of use him as a Swiss Army knife and really open up that offense for at least try to spread that offense out for us. So we'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed, baby.
All right. So.
Defensive side, our favorite side of the ball in Iowa. Who do you have as your defensive MVP?
Recently named Mr. Preseason. First team All-American, Jay Higgins.
Unanimous.
He's going to win some awards this year, dude. I'm telling you, he's a freak. He is a first-round pick.
171 tackles.
I wouldn't be shocked if this man got picked within the top 20 next year's draft. Wouldn't shock me one bit, and I'm so glad he came back. I'm so glad he's a Hawkeye.
171 tackles, dude.
He's program
record.
Fucking beast, man. He's going to be legendary. He will be a Hawkeye great. I guarantee it.
He didn't have to come back.
No, he didn't have to come back. He's a natural leader. Yep. He's a freak.
Yep.
He's just, you could make a freaking short movie about him.
Yep.
I can't wait to watch him play. Honestly, like we need to see some offense next year. But to be honest with you, man, I'm a defensive guy. That's been my thing always. Even when I played ball back in the day, defense, 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 and I was a safety back then. But seeing this guy play, it's just I kind of wish I was a linebacker. Not gonna lie, I just every play on defense, I'm gonna be watching him. Jay Higgins. Get his ass. Get his ass. Get his ass. He's going to win a lot of awards, my friend. Just be prepared. And I think, and I hope and pray to God you picked the same dude, which knowing you, I doubt you did. So let's see what you got, my boy.
Man,
I know.
I'm still looking at 171 tackles. That's an average of 12 plus a game, 12.2 a game.
Here's a question for you. Do you think over and under that this year? What do you think?
He's going to go under. He'll go under.
I probably.
He has the Iowa record, I think, by 20 plus tackles. If I remember what I looked at.
I don't think you get that with a good offense, right?
Well, I don't think you get that because his supporting cast is even better than it was last year. We got to remember that too.
I think so too.
With Nick Jackson returning 2 years in a row, these two in the middle linebacking core, like that's scary, dude. I don't think he gets I'm going under on it. I'd say he gets around the 150. 150. All right, you ready for mine?
I can see that. Of course, man. What you got?
Do I think he'll be the best defensive player we have? No. Do I think if he shows out and he shows up, will it just absolutely change the game every single time he does it and goes out there? Yes. I got to go with Mr. Aaron Graves.
Ooh, that's another
dude
good
was
too,
a highly recruited defensive tackle, Army All-American. He's finally going to get his chance next to Mr. I can't remember how Elijah Black. I think that's how I say it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Are going to be there. Yeah, Black.
Yeah.
Between those two, I think if Graves shows up, it starts putting some pressure on these QBs, especially not from the end position. You're coming right up the middle, man. That defense is going to tee off. Absolutely rip some people apart. And those ball hawks, Sebastian Castro and Xavier Wampo, will have at least 3 picks each if he shows up. Each. And that's – I'm calling that. If this guy – if he can get, let's see, I'll just say 7 sacks, 8 sacks this year.
Oh, yeah,
it's a whole different defense, man. Whole different
absolutely.
defense.
He's going to get way more than this 2.5.
Most of our pressure came from where last year? Joe Evans on the end.
Yep.
That was it. If we can get a couple dudes rushing up that middle and those ends hold their gaps and their ends, dude, they're going to tee off, dude. Those quarterbacks are going to be running like fools. They're going to have losses. They're going to have bad ducks that they throw up. And we're going to have it's going to be a pick party, baby. It's a pick party.
I can't wait.
I'm not scared.
I'm not either.
Sebastian Castro and Xavier Wampa. That's all I got to tell you, Chris.
Yep.
2 studs on that back safety line. Phenomenal. But
yeah, Castro's my honorable mention. I was actually going back and forth with him and Higgins, but he's preseason second team All-American, by the way, quarterback.
He is. My honorable was Nick Jackson.
Yeah, I could see him too.
He's a bona fide NFL linebacker too. I think that defense probably has 5 to 6 guys that will probably get drafted. That's a lot when you think about Iowa football. That's a lot. And those linebackers and those 2 in the secondary, as long as they keep progressing the way they do, man, there's no doubt in my mind that those 4 for sure are NFL gone. Easy.
Have we ever had 2 at least 2 players drafted in the first round at Iowa? I can't remember off the top of my head. Okay.
Tight ends, baby. Remember that year Noah Fant and TJ Hawkinson went first round?
Oh, that's right. Yeah. For some reason, I thought one of them slipped to second.
Tight end you. I mean, Fant slipped late in the first round, but
Broncos.
Yeah. All right, man. So you good with your picks on that? You think
hell yeah.
These are your receipts. You don't get a choice in this shit.
No, I'm good, man.
All right,
I'll
man.
take it.
Let's send it. You want to do national predictions now?
We can.
We already talked about it. We're gonna do 8, And it's not in any particular order, guys.
Those are, yeah. I just.
You got Memphis from your group of 5 in, huh?
Yep.
Hey, look at you.
All right. Sorry, Mike. 3 Big Ten. My bad.
Sorry, Mike.
How many couldn't remember. Let's see, where am I at? SEC.
4.
Oh, that ain't bad at all.
4. Yeah, I mean,
okay, 3 and 3. Yeah.
You got 2 from the ACC in, huh? Florida State.
Florida State. A lot of people. Who's going to be better, Florida State or Clemson? Who do you think? Everybody's talking.
Hey,
big on Clemson.
My picks are coming next, man.
I know, but I'm just. Well, fine. I'll wait to ask that when you get rolling. But yeah, these are my picks. Ultimately, I have Georgia over Ohio State in the Natty, and it's going to be Georgia. What's up, man?
Mike says all good. All right.
If it's still washing.
Boom.
All right, dude. What do you go? Oh, my gosh.
It's mine.
Oh, yeah. And no particular order. That's right.
No particular order.
Boise.
What do you get? 1, 2.
That would be kind of cool. That would be kind of cool to see them, though. Not going to lie, because
Mike, I got 3 and 2.
That. Yeah.
But I got Boise. I got Clemson winning the ACC. I got Oklahoma State winning the Big 12. Your Power 5, obviously, Boise. I think Notre Dame sneaks in per usual. I think in the national championship, I'm going Ohio State versus Georgia. And I think Georgia wins it. Until anybody proves me otherwise, Georgia is just –
oh, yeah, they're freaks.
It's just unreal, man. And they should have been in it last year, honestly. But, I mean, we get how the system worked last year. I think they were still one of the top 4 teams in the whole country. But it is what it is. I still think until anybody can really put them in their place in the regular season, we just got to – I'm taking them, man. They're talented, dude. Ohio State, Georgia, national championship. I think the Final Four will end up being – ooh.
Hey, it's okay. Look at your bracket if you need to, man.
I ain't got no bracket, man. I think my Final Four, Ohio State, Georgia. And then I got to go with man, it's tough. Texas. I think Texas will get there. And then, honestly, I don't know who the Final Four would be. Notre Dame, maybe, depending on how everything shakes out. I really don't know, man. I guess we're going to see. This is going to be interesting, man. I'm excited. Boom. There's a question for you, Brandon. What do you think?
15 or 16th. I think they'll be just outside of the playoffs.
Yeah,
and of course, in a couple of years, they'll be 14. Go freaking figure. That'll happen.
There you go, baby.
Spitting some history.
I told you, dude. This. He may have Vandy in his name, but that blood is all black and gold for Iowa, baby.
Dude, you guys, I absolutely love you and Dean, man. I love the history lessons. I'm serious. Dude. I freaking love learning of especially from a time period where I wasn't even alive. I love it.
We're just gonna have to get those two on the show, and then you and I will just put our mics on mute and just let them go, dude. I think it'd be epic.
Well, I think you have Vandy during me and my wife's anniversary trip here in a couple weeks. I think Troy, right?
He'll be co-hosting with me 9/11.
Yeah,
on that show.
And I think the Troy boys are going to join the show. Which, guess what, man? They got a podcast all about the Troy. What is their nickname? The Knights, or not the Knights? What is their nickname? Trojans. Right?
Troy
Trojans.
Yes. And Troy boys. That'll be a fun one.
Yes. That's a while. We gotta get through Iowa State first, though. So.
Oh yeah, for sure, dude. Well, cool. I mean,
heck yeah, man.
Obviously, we'll revisit all this shit throughout the year, man. We just wanted to get that stuff up. Damn, we've flown through this thing. We got one more thing to cover.
Do we?
2.
What do we got? 2. What do we got?
We got our Mount Rushmore. Oh,
so dude, I didn't even realize we were.
Yeah. Last week We're going to do it again, man. And this will probably wrap us up. So this will be our last thing. I want you guys to sound off on this before we start listing off some people here. Who are your top 4 running backs of all time? No particular order. We'll tell you who we think's the best of all time, but we're not going to tell you the rest of the ranking. Who's your Mount Rushmore of Iowa football running backs? And this was a lot tougher, man, than quarterbacks. I'm going to tell you. I always had some great running backs.
I was not a big fan of this one.
Yeah.
But then again, I was. It was a love-hate relationship. Same thing with when we do the receivers and all the other positions. The quarterback was super simple, but I know for a fact, I'm pretty sure, since you and I talked about this, I'm pretty sure people are gonna call us crazy, and we'll give explanations as to why we did what we did. So,
all right, you want to go first? Or you want me this time?
I don't care.
I'll go. So I got, baby, Tavian Banks, Fred Russell, Sean Green, Cedric Shaw.
I like it. The Fred Russell one, that's awesome, man. That makes me think of a good time in my life. Sean Green, same. Cedric Shaw and Tavian Banks, man. Wow. Yeah. Now I'm gonna want to go watch some YouTube highlights of these dudes, man.
I mean, honestly, I'm gonna tell you who the best running back is, and that's Cedric Shaw. He has the Iowa record.
You think
for
so?
rushing. He's got the Iowa record.
That's true. That's true.
That says a lot, man. He played 4 years, 4,100 total rushing yards. That dude was a freak back in the day for Hayden Fry.
I remember little about Cedric Shaw. I started getting, when I was a young kid, this is how I really started getting crazy about Iowa. We had season tickets from 1996, which was Cedric Shaw's senior season. So during that year, Hayden Fry was kind of on his last leg, and him and Tavian Banks switched off that year. And I was, let's see, first grade. So I kind of remember some of it. So, and I do remember, what I do remember about Cedric Shaw was he was fast as hell.
He was shifty, man. He was good.
Yeah, he was a beast.
He was fun to watch. I remember watching him with my dad back in the day, baby. Here you go. You got Vandy Chris chiming in, Ronnie Harmon.
Oh, that last one, Vandy. That last one, I can't with his backstory. He's a good, before all that crazy stuff happened and he had to leave. I mean, I liked him, but after all that, I kind of lost respect for him a little bit. I don't know. Should we talk about that? Did you hear about what happened with him?
Wager? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
That's
yep.
So poor guy.
Yep.
He was good.
Yeah.
He was a stud as a freshman, and it sucks we didn't get to see him live up to his potential.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. But Cedric Shaw, number one. I mean, he has 33 career touchdowns, too, rushing, which is an Iowa record. Tied with the other guy on the list, Tavian Banks. That guy was a freak, too, man. 33 rushing touchdowns in the career. He had that game where he had, 314 yards or some shit like that versus Tulsa, Iowa record. Dude,
I was there for that. It was sick, dude. I remember
the crazy thing I remember about him, though, is his damn bleach blonde hair, dude.
Oh, God, yeah. Dude, yes.
He was good, though, dude. That guy could run, man. I think he ranks – hold on, I'm actually going to pull this up. He's 4th in rushing. So he's only at 2,900. But his work that he did, you got to consider that he shared 1996 with Cedric Shaw.
Yep.
1995 with Cedric Shaw. 1994 with Cedric Shaw. So he had 1 year where it was all him.
Yep.
And he still put up those numbers. Both of those dudes.
Oh, yeah. It was incredible, dude.
Almost the same damn team. That's crazy. It's unheard of. And they both are top 5 in almost every category in rushing. This one, I know we only had one real lump sum year of work, but Sean Green, I wish we could have saw more of him.
I do too, man.
Was unbelievable. And I think if we could have got more where he stayed instead of having to go to the JUCO route for a little bit, he would without a doubt be on everybody's list because that year he popped off, man. That was unbelievable. He was unstoppable. Not a single
100 yards per game, man.
Not a single person could stop him. And
no, he's
phenomenal. So not much to really say about him other than that. And then I had to put my boy Fred Russell in this thing, man, because, dude, I want you to put this in perspective real quick. Hold on a second. The main reason I put him in here, he's only 6th in rushing, 2,700 yards. Boy only played really 2 seasons. When you go look at his stats, if we had him for longer, or if he got the looks instead of some of the other dudes that were there when he got there, I mean, he was one of the first running backs, 2nd year of Ferentz, running back. So they didn't even know what they were then. So his 2 solid years, he basically put up all these numbers. And I don't know if you remember watching him play, man, but he used to line up so far back behind the quarterback. But by the time he exploded, when they handed off that ball, he was so small, he was able to find all those holes, man. And
he was a little guy, man. What was his size? He's like, what was he, like 5'8"?
No, he had to be like 5'8", and that's football height. So he might have been 5'7", 5'6". To be honest with you, I really don't know.
I know he was like short. That's all I remember.
I mean, he's got two records in the top 10 single season rushing. The 2 years he played.
Yeah, he's
1,300 and basically 1,300. Like, that's a freak, dude. Like, I wish we could have been able to maybe let him play a little earlier. I don't know, Kurt, but he was electric, man. These 4 stood out to me, and of course, there's been a whole list of people since. Obviously, Liddell Betts is probably my honorable mention.
Yep.
Coaches at Iowa now, so shout out Liddell Betts there.
Yes,
Albert
sir.
Young was another one that I remember vividly. It just being
criminally underrated, I thought, for him.
Yep.
He didn't get his flowers. He was good, but he never got the recognition that he deserved, in my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah, and then, I mean, Tyler Goodson, I think if we could have had him one more year, sky's probably the limit for that dude. He's still top 10 in rushing, considering his first year he didn't do much. So we're looking at 2. Actually, yeah, we're looking at basically 2 years because 1 year was COVID and they only played 6 games. So for him to be top 10 in basically a year and a half of season, that's phenomenal, dude. But not enough for me. So
no, that's all right.
Boom. Oh, man. Vandy Chris has more stats for you.
Yep. When in doubt.
All right. Ready for yours?
Oh, of course.
Boom.
Basically the same thing. These were. Wait a minute.
That's what you told me.
Okay, well, I'll definitely put one in honorable mention. So Tavian Banks, beast. Seen that crazy 1997 senior year. And what's crazy was him and Timmy D were my boys back in the day. And get this, they were huge high school rivals back in the day. Like, huge. And to see them being teammates and being one of the best freaking duos in the freaking Big Ten, because I know that was a good year for football. Like, I remember that was 97 would probably be the start of what I remember a lot about college football, because I was just kind of, hitting the 2nd grade and just starting to remember things a little bit. So I remember, that Tulsa game. I oh my gosh, I'll never forget that time when Tavian took off towards our end zone, because we always sat in the north end zone. That was a good one. The next one, Ronnie Harmon. I wasn't alive for this one, but I've heard a ton of stories about the guy and just some of the stats he's put up, and I've also seen highlight videos of him, and just he's a freak. Like, I really wish that somehow we could transport this dude into current day, because he would really help us out nowadays.
Hey, can you see me?
Yeah, I can see you. Why?
Man,
What's up?
I'm froze up, man. I can't even see anything on the screen, dude.
Uh-oh, that's not good.
Keep going.
You're good. So I'm going to kind of move on a little quick. So Liddell Betts, that's another personal one. That was probably my last year of getting so we got season tickets from 96 to 01, and Liddell Betts and Albert Young they were kind of back and forth, but Liddell was a beast too. I enjoyed his smash mouth running. He ran hard. Like, that was one thing I enjoyed, and I loved watching defenders frickin' just bounce off of him. And you could say the same thing about Sean Green too. He's actually an honorable mention. I'm going to skip ahead to Cedric Shaw. Actually, between him and Liddell Betts, I could probably one or the other would work as well too. Last but not least, Cedric Shaw. He was my very first running back I ever seen in person, and like you said, he was just an animal. He ended up getting drafted by the Patriots. Loved watching his run for touchdowns. I enjoyed. Actually got to meet him several times. I know back in the day for homecoming, they used to have autograph sessions for every single Iowa sport, and he would always be there. So I just good person. Like all these guys are good people. Tavian Banks, good, solid human being. Liddell Betts, good, solid human being. I don't think I've ever met Ronnie Harmon. Cedric Shaw, definitely, like I said, I've met. But yes, Sean Green, definitely honorable mention. I should probably sneak him in there, carve some more rock, the hell with the 4 presidents. There should be 5 presidents just so I can put Sean Green in that. 2008 was it would have been my freshman year in college. So just the year after, like a couple months after I graduated, kind of started out a little slow, but there was Sean Green giving us hope, and we ended up 8-4. Owen Gill. Ooh, I'm gonna have to look this one up because if you guys keep naming names, man, I'm just gonna probably stay up tonight on YouTube watching highlights.
Owen Gill, 22 touchdowns career.
But yep, those are my top 4 with the honorable mention of Sean Green.
Very nice, man.
Oh yes.
Yeah, man, these have been fun. O-line, huh? Chris says he's gonna school us on the O-line, huh? Well, maybe.
Do we even have a Rushmore for O-line? I don't even want to do it. I might sit that one out because there's way too many.
Chris, we'll do it. We'll do it the day you're co-hosting. How about that? You're off the hook.
I'll put in for it.
You can just
I'll put
flash
it
up there, and you don't have to speak to it. We'll take all your brunt of the comments.
or I might be sitting right outside of a mountain, and you guys can put me in if you want. I have been on the phone before on a live show on StreamYard, so if you wanted to do that, you can. So just saying, man, I'll join if you want.
Yeah, you can join. Yeah, man. I like these Mount Rushmores, man. I don't know about you.
I do too. Makes you think.
All right. And you wanna send it with our Big Ten awards, or you want to save that for next week?
Let's save that for next week because I'm no offense. Well, actually, you know what? Fuck them. Offense to Illinois State, there really ain't much to talk about. Okay?
There really isn't. We hope so.
So, ladies and gentlemen, college football is among us. It's week 0 in a couple days. First game of the season, Florida State, Georgia Tech. I got Florida State, baby.
Yeah, I got to go with the Noles too here, man. My wife will appreciate that. She's a honorary Florida State fan from growing up and living here in Florida, so I'm gonna go with them too. And I think we'll do some picks throughout the week if anybody wants to, hold us accountable for how shitty or how well we do. Feel free to help us with the running tally. I'm gonna try, but we're only gonna pick one game this week. The rest are just kind of meh. I don't want to pick the Nevada game. It's cool.
Pass on that. What about Hawaii, Delaware State?
Nah, pass on that, man. Pass on that. Oh, look at this. Man, Chris, man.
Gosh.
Neutral site there in Dublin. All right. Well, so we're double taking Florida State. Week 0, first pick, Florida State. Hopefully we're both 1-0 going into the actual weeks. And then, yeah, man. I ain't got nothing else, man. What about you?
I'm just excited, man. I literally cannot believe we've been talking about this show for months. We're finally doing it. We're episode 3, and guess what? Week 0, and next week is our first game. I am so fucking jacked, dude.
Same, dude.
So fucking jacked. I cannot wait.
Almost 1 week, baby.
I
Well,
know.
awesome. Well, thanks everybody for tuning in again. If you haven't already, feel free to like, share, comment, whatever you want to do on the Hawkaholics podcast. Facebook page. We're also on Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it, at Hawkaholics. What is it? 319? Hawkaholics 319 on there. And if you haven't already, shout out to the college football dogs. Without them, this wouldn't be possible. Go ahead and give them a like and a share, and we will also be sharing Mike's season breakdown of the Iowa football schedule on the page with you guys. So, hell yeah, man. If you got nothing else, man, I'm good. I'm ready.
I am too, man. Let's get the hell out of here.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us, everybody. Take care. Go Hawks. And
Go Hawks, baby.
It's almost here, baby.
Give him that hawk and spit on that thing.